In this particular video, I'm going to be giving a glimpse into what our methods of working is and why we firmly believe that we are very different from most of the agencies out over there, or most of the advisor companies or consulting companies out over there. The reason to that is because we adopt a very thorough and very in-depth process of providing you the best service, right? So this particular video goes into the exclusive content monetization platforms. And when I say exclusive content monetization platforms, which I abbreviate by ECMPs, to say the OF, Fancy, FanView, Cobase, Minx, TXT, Loyal Fans, FetLife, Sex Pandas of the world, right? Now, what happens is that in this particular domain, we provide an end-to-end service in such a fashion that you will not be required to do anything when it comes down to exclusive content monetization platforms, unless, of course, you're going to be required to build out content. And there are going to be other stuff that you would be required to do, which only you can do and we cannot do, such as doing certain customs or video calling, etc. So first, let's go into the hyper-personalized interactions. We take the initiative and we take the pains to develop an in-house system, a comprehensive department of chatters, and who we call ECMP specialists. We don't call them chatters because they're not just chatting. I would say chatting is probably 30 to 40% of what they do. The 60% is all other stuff. When it comes down to hyper-personalized interactions, I would say that involves a lot of stuff, right? The number one stuff that it involves is hyper-personalized mass messages. Hyper-personalized mass messages means we are just not sending out a mass message like that to say if you have 50,000 subscribers, we're not going to be just sending out a mass message like that. It's going to be hyper-personalized to that particular fan. And obviously, it depends upon a lot of factors, right? We build out lists, and in those lists, we segregate people out, and we build out sublists as well. And based on those sublists, we build out certain automations which hyper-personalizes that particular person, right? Number one, it would be from a name point of view, right? Now, that name would be, you might say, oh, this is possible. It's not that difficult. Honestly, not really, because it is pretty overwhelming and it's very brute labor that is involved. Real name, which is usually a username, right? So we take the pains to do a very detailed note taking, and that kind of builds out into this particular frame of hyper-personalized interactions that we do. And within the smart messaging aspect of it, we build out new subscriber welcome messages, and that's going to change on a very frequent basis. We're going to do a lot of A/B testing as to see whether, hey, this is working or this is not working. And then there are going to be other stuff like if a subscription is expiring soon, our system would know that particular fan subscriptions are expiring soon, and hence there will be a message which is sent out. If the subscription is already expired, then there'll be a different kind of a message that we're going to be sending across. Then for PPV purchases, whenever the fan purchases a PPV, there'll be an automated message, which is going to be a hyper-personalized automated message, which gets sent across. Your birthday greetings and discounts to regulars. Discounts to regulars for, say, PPV content, say, subscription. If they're not subscribed, we will be sending a lot of promotional stuff, which increases the revenue and earnings of the creator. And that's there. And what we lastly do is we build out a collection of messages to be sent out at regular intervals of time when the fan subscribes. For example, the fan subscribes today at on 19th of July, we're going to be sending out multiple collection of messages. And those collection of messages would be stopped if the fan replies. If the fan does not reply back or respond back, there's going to be a different thing that we send across as well, handling the whales, right? So and the threshold kind of depends on the creator, right? If it's, say, a medium creator, we usually say about $500 is a whale, and it's going to be a super hyper-personalized way of talking. It just almost feels like you are in person with that person, right? And at the end of it actually comes up the chatting, which happens 24/7 around the clock. Now, it involves a very intelligent and very thought-focused way of selling the PPV content, and there's going to be dynamic pricing. So our system is able to tell us that what is the level at which the person can afford, right? That would depend on a variety of factors. One is historical purchases. Number two is through a detailed note-taking, we are able to understand what the income level of the person is, when the payday of the person is, right? We feel like, because there's a plethora of creators out there, I think what really makes you different and differentiates you is actually the fact that you are able to build out those relationships. So building out relationships is very important. But what is the number one thing that we really focus on when it comes down to building relationships is the fact that we understand that we live in a very attention-driven economy, right? So we live in a very attention-driven economy, and it is important to be very prominent and very active in front of the fan to make sure that the fan is subscribed to us on various platforms, especially the social media platforms, right? So we understand what the psychology and fantasy of the fan is, and based on that, we we change our tone of voice. Say, for example, if a creator is an 18-year-old creator, but she is actually a submissive by nature and her content is submissive, but you have a submissive fan who has subscribed, you cannot be selling submissive content to that person because that person is himself is submissive. So he's looking for a dominant person. And if the content or predominant niche of the creator is different from what the fantasy of the fan is, right? That becomes a very important factor in increasing the lifetime value of the subscriber, right? So that's our number one focus. How do you increase the lifetime value of the subscriber? And I feel the most important thing is not letting go of their attention, right? So not letting go of their attention, meaning that whenever they open up their mobile, you need to be up over there. The only way that you do that is that you are subscribed or you follow them or they follow you on various mediums. And lastly, I feel this is something that I truly concentrate on training the staff, and that is about intelligent resource and time allocation. We're not going to be wasting time on time wasters. We're going to be selectively allocating time. Super hyper personalization takes more time as compared to just a regular mass message, right? So that is very important to understand. Now, there's another thing that comes up, right? So we do a very detailed note taking, and our notes are extremely detailed to the point that we know exactly on a timeline basis what the fan has said, what the fan is doing. We put it up to a proprietary model software for proprietary AI software for detailed note taking, and it generates that level of notes. And all of this is obviously given out to the chatters, and they have that on the screen while they're chatting right next to them. So they are able to look at that and also respond in real time. So smart list creation, obviously this, I have only given a very small list of things. This goes very detailed. I didn't want to go really detailed over here, but it is usually the time wasters, the whales, the medium spenders, and then there's also the low spenders that come into play, right? So there's going to be low spender as well over here. And it's not just this, we go into much more detail than that. Right. And that's there. From an ECMP specialist point of view, what we do is that it's not just, like I said, it's not just a chatter who is put up on a particular platform. That particular person is an ECMP specialist, meaning that particular person is going to be assigned to you among other people. The team of people will be assigned to you, and that particular person is going to be responsible for you end to end, meaning that particular person is going to be responsible for everything. So what that allows us to do is that allows us a huge level of efficiency, and hence time is reduced in duplication of that training and that inefficiency in understanding what this particular creator does. So that's there. And then we have the content cataloging is very important to go into. What content cataloging is and how we do it differently is that we don't really build out a vault. Why? Because we know for a fact that the content of the creator must be on various platforms, right? So it's not that efficient to build out the content on every single platform. What we do is that we do a very good job at cataloging and classifying and tagging the content on the drive itself, so that whenever you have to send, you can straight go onto the drive and everything is properly organized within proper sections, and you can straight away send out stuff. So that's something that we take pride on. And then we have other stuff like ECMP wall management, which I feel is very important as well. That goes into scheduling the wall posting 30 days in advance, regular polls for higher interaction. We do a lot of polls as well. From that, we're also able to generate a lot of data. And data is king. So attention is king, data is king. I think those are the two very important things to understand. And then we also go into consistent interaction with the fan posts. For example, a lot of fans up these days are posting on their own walls. We are consistently interacting with the fans, not only on the spicy platforms, but on the non-spicy platforms as well. So that is very important. The more you interact, the more you are in the mind of the fan. That is the most important. How do you get into the mind of the fan? This allows us a regular posting, a regular interaction, a regular follow, a regular mentions allows us a higher algorithmic approach, and hence we see an outsized return based on that. And when it comes down to promotion campaigns for every single festival, there will be, or every single holiday, like for example, 4th of July happened right now, the specific kind of promotion campaign that we'll be doing, we'll be changing and doing A/B testing on promotion campaigns. What works for you might not work for another person, but we know for a fact who is the best in the niche that you are working in. And we are able to do the research on what they are doing, what is working for them. And based on that, we can use what is working for us, right? Number two is dynamic and differential pricing for fans, right? So it's not going to be a simple same subscription, $3.99, $15.99, because it should be dynamic and it should be differential. Just think about Uber or Lyft, right? Dynamic differential pricing. And then the constant changes ensuring campaigns don't go stale, right? So that's there. I think from a profile and bio point of view, it's very important to understand what we kind of do. This involves, I would say, a profile picture and a banner design, bio and caption, emoji and hashtag strategy, stories, link visibility, etc. So within the profile picture and banner design, we do frequent profile picture and banner updates. We are not keeping it stale. We are doing banner updates, and that profile and banner reflects your niche is 0.01%. It reflects your brand image. It reflects whatever you're trying to sell, right? Any personal branding and affiliate branding is included to earn more money through advertisements. For example, you can advertise on your own platforms and earn advertisement dollars, and we help you do that as well. With respect to bio and caption, your bio is going to reflect the top 0.01% style bio in your niche. It includes all that you do, your unique flavor, your quirks, your routines. We don't do a blanket brush the paint approach. We go into hyper personalization and clear invite to chat, a tip, or subscribe. It's an invite, clearly inviting to chat or tip or subscribe, and not beating around the bush. The emoji and hashtag strategy is important because it boosts visibility. Then with respect to stories, we are also very much involved in ensuring that there's regular update of stories.